Why do you want to have that? Like, I would rather have just normal chicken or something
Because
like that.
because the chickens won't be dying and will be environmentally friendly.
Don't ever touch me like that, bro.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Adonis Talk, where we empower your journeys to success and personal growth. My name is Jared.
And my name is Fahim. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the food pyramid scheme is a scam.
Okay, so I'm sure you've all heard about the food pyramid, right? I mean, we've all learned it at school.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll put an image on the screen right now. So the base is basically wheat, bread, grains, potatoes for 6 to 11 servings a day.
Basically
Then-
carbohydrates, right?
Yeah, exactly. Then it goes up to veggies and fruits, right? Then it goes to dairy products and cheese and all that stuff. Then it goes to meat. Then it goes to oils and fats.
Yeah.
And then
Nuts.
it goes to then sugary stuff, candy, cakes, etc. So today we're obviously going to be talking about how this is all a scam. Well,
Everything
not completely. I mean,
scam,
the main base of it is wrong for
I
many
thi-
reasons.
I think the only thing they got right is the sugar part. The
Yeah,
sweet
exactly.
part.
Yeah, the sweet part. I think
Yeah,
that's the only
at
thing
the
that got
top.
right. Absolutely.
Probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
The pyramid scam. I mean, the food pyramid scam.
Yeah.
Where did it all start? Like, what's the history behind it? Because obviously I didn't do the research
Yeah.
and you did the research.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
So, the food pyramid, the first time we've seen about it was mid-70s, right? And before that, so basically the US, what they basically do every 5 to 10 years is they put a dietary plan out to their population, like a dietary guideline to show the population what they should eat to be healthy, right? And it was mid-70s, and obviously the US had to bring out a new plan, an updated plan. And basically,
Did not go well.
and there's this expression that went with it. It was that the pyramid, the food pyramid, was sold to the highest bidder. And back then, it was the grain and wheat industry,
Okay.
which was the biggest industry back then,
Uh-huh.
like food-wise. So, for the context, we're around 1972. So Richard Nixon was going for re-elections in the US. And the rest of the world really was going into this whole big famine. And most countries were missing out on wheat, which was a main staple for
I guess,
many
yeah,
households.
everyone was eating bread
Yeah,
at that
exactly.
time,
That's how people survived,
Yeah.
right? And the one that was lacking the most was Russia. So Russia were very deep. Same for, I think, Ukraine. How weird.
How time has changed.
Exactly. And basically, the whole world was going a bit bonkers about that. And the US was doing well in the wheat industry. And Russia obviously was struggling. And at some point, they were like, well, we're going to have to ask help to a superpower that are doing well in wheat, which was the US. So Russia went towards the US to ask for help. They bought from the US 10 million tons of wheat.
I can't visualize. I don't know.
It's
but
just too
I'm
much,
guessing that's
too
a
much.
lot here.
Yeah. So much that it basically exploded the price of wheat everywhere.
Okay.
Not only making one of the most lucrative deals in trading of wheat in all of human time, but the US made a shit ton of money out of that plan, right?
They always do.
And the Secretary of Agriculture back then was Earl Butz. And seeing this, he had an idea. So obviously, his president was going for re-election, and to stay in his position of Secretary of Agriculture, he had to do something, right, for Richard Nixon to be re-elected. And most of the time back then, having the agricultural industry on your side in presidency is usually what makes you win the presidency, because it was so big at the time. It still is now. But if you had the agricultural industry on your side in presidential elections, you were sure to win. So Earl thought of ways to get the agriculture industry on his side. And what he did is that he put loads of incentives for the agricultural industry to not only produce as much wheat as they wanted. So he took down every regulation. So before it was all regulated, you could only do a certain amount per year, etc. Certain times, how much you could harvest the crops. He took that all down. They received incentives when selling to the Russians after that. Anyway, basically, so many incentives. So the agriculture were on Richard Nixon's side. The US was producing way too much wheat, but again, making so much money out of it because the whole world needed wheat. But at some point, obviously, making so much wheat and trading it so much, we came out of this famine in the world, and the world came back to the state of, well, we've got enough wheat now. But the US still had a boatload of wheat, and they didn't know what to do with it. Like, honestly, you can't imagine how much wheat they had, and they couldn't sell it anymore because Russia didn't need it anymore. Nobody really needed it. And as they didn't have any regulations, they just did too much. So they're like, well, what are we going to do with all this wheat? Well,
Guessing that's where the
exactly.
pyramids scam comes
Exactly.
in place.
So that's when, obviously, as I said at the beginning, they were obviously giving these dietary regulations and plans out. They went towards Louise Light, which was a brilliant woman back at the time, to plan that dietary plan. And she came up with something very reasonable. She was like, obviously, up to almost 30-40% of your diet should be protein sources, especially red meats, all that, oils, fats, all that good stuff, while limiting, obviously, all the carbohydrates and stuff.
That's how we actually ate
how we always
before.
ate, and obviously, good sources of vegetables and fruits behind it, etc. And almost cancelling, like literally cancelling all sugars, cakes, chocolate, everything.
Interesting.
She got rejected. No shit. And instead of that, they completely changed it. And what was at the base of all that pyramid was wheat. How funny. So they put wheat at the base. Why? Well, obviously, as I said, the US were in over production of wheat and they had to sell at some points. So they're like, oh, well, let's put it at the base. Like, say that 6 to 11 servings are needed for every human being and buy our wheat. So again, wheat continued to explode. People were buying it, and they vilified the red meats and the meat corporations, saying that's when all these myths came about of red meat gives you heart attacks and cholesterol is bad for you and saturated fats is the devil. Like these studies came out of nowhere, and obviously a whole boat of experts around the US.
There was actually studies for this, or like they
exactly.
just made it up.
No, they're actually.
The
So
fake
obviously
studies,
not only because you gotta know that those that made or were in charge with the dietary guidelines for the US, 6 out of 10 of them were tied to agricultural corporations.
I researched
So
that one.
exactly. So obviously they had the incentive to money, as always.
all these studies funded by
exactly.
funded by Kellogg's.
Exactly. So they obviously made meat look bad, creating all these fake studies saying cholesterol is bad. It's gonna block up your arteries and give you heart attacks.
A lot of people still think about that.
Which is funny though, because if you look at the charts of obesity in the US, right, from 1900s to 1970, it was going up, right, but it was pretty flat. But from 1970s, when they started saying, "Oh, eat more wheat, stop eating red meat, stop eating fat, eat more sugar." I'll put a graph right down on the screen. It blew up instantly. So that's where it all really started coming down.
No one in America is so fat.
Exactly. And people are like, and then people are saying, but that's red meat and stuff. They're like, but then no, because again they told people to eat less red meat, and it's not the fact that people were smoking that much and eating already made meals, and they were eting so much grains and oils like canola oils and corn oils and all that. So that's where the pyramid came in place, and obviously it came in shapes and forms since, right? So that's how we saw it back then. But since 2011-12 with the Obama administration, they changed it back, which is a bit better than the way it was back then. But it's still emphasizing the fact that you should eat that much. Like, imagine 6 to 11 servings. That's like eating 6 to 11 bowls of cereal a day to be healthy. Like if you don't eat
that
it,
makes
oh my god.
absolutely no sense. Like we were not supposed to eat that many carbohydrates in
And
the
it's
first
just
place.
that's why
Yeah.
all the cereals and stuff we're giving to our kids, and they're just eating cereal every morning. Oh, Cocoa Pops.
Did you eat a lot of cereals as a kid?
Yes.
Same.
You know the Treasures
Same.
and all the. Do you know Treasure or no?
No.
Oh, poo it there. That was
No, we had
amazing. That was so
Kellogg's,
expensive.
Kellogg's
Cocoa Pops, all that stuff. Yeah, just full of sugar. And if you look at the ads back then, it was basically saying, oh, it's low fat and
healthy,
and
no,
blah blah.
it's crazy.
Most of the products were like, yeah, there's no cholesterol and no good, like just.
Like the first thing in the morning, and then you eat that sugary stuff. You raise the insulin. Oh my god!
And because that was another thing too, like
horrible.
how they said like fat is bad, but like if you take a yogurt and you take out the fat is flavor. That's why when you eat chicken, the skin on the chicken, that's the most juiciest.
Oh, yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah, exactly. But if you take fat off food, it tastes like nothing. So what do they add? Sugar. And since now people are waking up to sugar, what are they adding? Sweetness. And now we're seeing that aspartame and sucralose and all that are just bad for us. It's just this vicious cycle where they keep trying to selling us shit. I don't know.
Just keep the fat in. Honestly,
exactly. Just like, obviously, yeah. I'm trying because I'm just going all over the place now. But yeah, again, it's like all the heart disease. Like since the 70s, we've seen exploding rates of prostate cancers in men and heart attacks and stuff, because people are like, yeah, well, that's the fault of saturated fats and again cholesterol. It's actually trans fats and oil fats and all the shitty stuff you find in. Because the thing is, if it was like wheat, like actual wheat back hundreds of years ago, even though it's still out proportioned amount you should eat every day, it's not as bad. But the wheat, you can't possibly think that the wheat today is the same wheat it was hundreds of years ago. I mean, if you look at the content of that's why you keep saying people that are intolerant to gluten and stuff. If you look at the quantity of gluten in wheat today compared to, because we still have grains of wheat from years over hundreds of years ago, they're way more expensive. But if you compare them to the ones today, it's just so high in gluten and high because they've been
they've been modified basically.
Basically,
GMO.
and not necessarily GMO, but like
selective breeding, right?
Selective breeding, exactly. Selective breeding and getting it not only to grow faster, but then it's same for vegetables. Like vegetables are losing its nutrients and stuff,
so that they can be more durable and less basically more resistance to insects and all these things, and like you lose all the micronutrients and all this kind of stuff if you want to.
And now you add the pesticides on it and all that. It's just, I mean, if you looked at carrots and tomatoes back then, it looks nothing like it is today. And even the fruits today, the quantity of sugar you can find in fruits is astronomical compared to back then. But again, we're not talking about fruits and vegetables. We're mainly focusing here on how they vilified meat and eggs and cholesterol. By the way, if you watch our episode on testosterone is made from cholesterol, right? And now they're pushing all this wheat and all these grains and soybeans, which is highly estrogenic. Did you know that a cup of soybeans is as estrogenic as 100,000 cups of chickpeas?
Mad. That is mad.
It shows you how estrogenic it is. And people are like, yeah, but then if it's bad for men, because obviously we rely on testosterone, but if women obviously is on estrogen, then we're fine. No, because too high levels of estrogen is also killing your...
Yeah. I've read this somewhere. I'm not sure exactly if it's true or not, but I'm pretty sure that's true, right? Like the estrogen that the female body actually produces is much different from the fake estrogen they get from like soybeans or something else. Yeah. And that causes like a lot of like health issues and stuff like that. So the estrogen that you get from soybeans and all these kind of thing is a bad estrogen.
Yeah. And it's funny because when you so going back to the whole how they vilified meat and stuff, obviously it was the biggest competitor because they're like because meat was so big at the time. they said, well, we have to put place to the wheat.
Yeah,
we
because
just have so much
everyone
wheat.
was eating meat
Yeah,
at that time,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So
So looking at the US, they're like,
if-
you're only eating wheat,
yeah.
meat. Let's get you off meat.
yeah, if they wanted to make them eat all the wheat they had to like make
But
meat
I'm
taste
trying
like,
to
meat.
understand-
Yeah, meat horrible. Or
I'm
something
trying
like
to
that.
understand how people actually believe that something we've been eating for thousands of years is suddenly causing you cancer and heart attacks. Like, oh my god, suddenly meat is bad and you're gonna die if you continue eating it. You should just eat like meat once a week.
No, it's actually because if you in 1970s there was a rise of like heart attacks and everything before they even invented the pyramid scheme, the food pyramid scheme. So they convinced people that meat was actually bad for you, like it caused all these terrible things for you, and then they convinced them to eat all these green stuff.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah. But even
But
before that, it was going. I mean, even health was declining even before that, and sort of during the period because again, there was the rise of plastic.
yeah,
There was the rise of
All
obviously
these,
back
yeah.
then everybody smoked all the
Yeah.
time. Back in the houses, everywhere, kids smoked. I mean, honestly, there were ads back then. Kids smoking, they were just there smoking. It's it's good for you. And same for
the doctors
it?
were recommending.
yeah,
this something,
doctors were
right?
saying
yeah,
Marlboro, like doctors like four in six doctors recommend smoking or something.
yeah. This is why I'll never trust anything that's new.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as per them, maybe it's safe. Doctors say sometimes it's safe or something like that, right? But no, it's not. Man.
That's what
It's
I know,
new
they-
things.
Because because they keep finding new ways. Because as soon as we wake up to something, like again, my example with fats and stuff, when they said obviously all meat and saturated are bad,
Mm.
so they said also fat is bad. That's what's causing you to get obese and
Yeah.
having heart attacks. No, it's not. You need fats. Anyway, so that's they were like, let's take the fat off, let's put sugar. And then when people started to say, wait, sugar isn't that good for you, well, let's put sweetness in. Now we're seeing, as I said, aspartame is a pretty cancerogenic and full
Yeah,
of
I
bad
know,
stuff. I
yeah.
mean,
All this
honestly,
chemicals.
back home, we used to drink Coke Zero all the time because my mum told me, there's no sugar in it, it's fine for you. All right, mum. See, and I'm not saying that my mum miseducated me. Again, it's not her fault.
Your mom's gonna like leave some hate
It's like,
comments on this.
he's gonna drink all my Coke Zero. Yes, he's gonna be unhealthy. No. Obviously, she fell to what the government and what the big because you can't just think it's the government and the big corporations. It was pushed by mainstream media.
Yeah.
You can't just think that they just told us like some guy from the government came to you in the street. By the way, no, it was in mainstream media.
They're very clever with how
schools and
they push the agenda. They slowly push it off to like these companies, and then these companies give these advertisements, and everyone just believes it
It's
normally
not
because
young, because in the schools they're
Yeah.
just saying in the schools, oh look, here's a pyramid, eat this.
it came in the school books. Like, do you remember like having reading all those kind of things in the schools, right?
I remember when my teacher was like on the board, she was like, oh, so you should eat 6 to 11 pieces of bread a day, you should eat vegetables and and water and stuff, and she was going to the top, and almost at the very top it was like meat and sugar. I was like, how is that? What is it doing there? And then now, so that was way before they were saying meat's bad for you, but now that people are starting to wake up to this, they're like, oh, meat is bad for the environment. So
We're not saying-
I'm not denying that meat might have an impact on the environment, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure it does. But again, mainstream media does what it does. I'm sure they're obviously exaggerating the whole thing
For
to
sure.
obviously push other stuff.
I don't think the effect is there, but I don't think it's
Yeah,
that bad.
also, how
at
do you
all.
think that Cow's Pops would change it? I mean,
Yeah.
and like it just makes, and because they're like, but we don't have enough space. I'm like, because we've got so much land for agriculture, for wheat and stuff that we shouldn't eat that much of. So if we converted all that for cattle and
Yeah.
for their food, I
Give the
think-
wheat to the
yeah,
the
exactly.
cows.
Exactly. Like, I'm not saying we should not eat wheat at all, even though as the wheat isn't the same as it back then. But then people are going to be
Yeah.
like, yeah, but then the meat is not the same. Yeah, well, we're fucked. Let's make the most out of it. I'm like, sorry. Like, have your own cow, all right? Have your own cow, have your own... I mean, I have my own hens back home in Belgium, so we have our own
Really?
eggs. Yeah. So we have
Wow.
that. We've got 3 hens. We've had them... I mean, we haven't had them for 10 years, but we've had hens for 10 years.
We have them as well in India.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, like,
Amazing stuff.
obviously, the food we're eating today isn't the same as it was back then, but we should make the most out of it. But yeah, so they're saying that it's not environmentally friendly, we don't have enough space, and then now, have you noticed that the protests for like animal lives matter and I don't know what it's called, animal slaughter's bad and stuff. It's been but the riots have been going more and more crazy all over the world. That's weird.
Okay,
Maybe did they get the incentive to actually do all that? I don't know.
You don't know.
Let's not go into the conspirations. But then it's all what we're doing. What was I gonna say? But they're like, but then it's animal slaughter, so eat vegan bacon or better, eat lab grown meats.
Oh my god. Lab grown meat.
Did you hear that it's been authorized in the US to sell lab grown meats, lab grown chicken?
I've heard something like that, like actually lab grown meats, like
guys. So the whole thing about lab grown meats, people have been saying, well, so there's no animals that die, and what was it? Oh, it's not as it's environmentally friendly because all that. I'm like, for one, I've read loads of studies that showing it might not even be that environmentally friendly as we think it is, because the equipment and like the electricity to support all these mega labs to grow. Because do you imagine how many labs we would need to replace all our meat? Do you imagine the electricity that would go into it?
Oh my days.
Exactly. Anyway, not only that, but how are they growing meat, right? You'd be, they just take a cell from a cow, they grow, and eat it. A normal cell will only divide itself like 12 times max, right? After that, it can't grow anymore. So how can you find a cell that would grow indefinitely? And not only that, but it grows significantly faster than a normal cell.
How?
An immortal cell, which is basically a cancer cell. They're being say, yes, we found this new thing, it's an immortal cell.
Okay.
Because obviously they can't say, oh, here's a lab-grown meat made from cancer cells. Because that's what it is, because cancer cells are not only immortal, but they're spread pretty damn fast. I mean, if you've seen a tumor could be like there, and then the next week is already in your brain and everywhere. Like cancer cells.
Yeah, the cancer
rapidly,
is crazy, right?
And again, it's immortal, so it'll always grow. So for one, you're actually eating cancer cells. Is that healthy? Is the thing that's killing your body gonna eat it? It's gonna make any difference? I don't know. There's not enough proof to support it, but I don't think it would be that healthy.
I would never eat meat that is made from cancer cells,
exactly,
mortal cells.
Exactly.
Bro, why would you want to have that? Like, I would rather have just normal chicken or something like
because
that.
Because the chickens won't be dying and it'll be environmentally friendly.
Don't ever touch me like that, bro. That's true.
And you won't be eating that much anyway, because you're gonna be eating soybeans and fucking flour.
You got meat for days. Oh my days. You got fucking Kellogg's, bro.
That's not it. Like, how do you make? Because you can't just because it's not that easy. You can't just put like cancer cells and let it grow into meat, right? For one. You need like factors to make it grow, like amino acids.
There's a lot of procedures, right? For
like amino
chemicals
acids. You need
that,
vitamins in it and stuff. So what's the best, cheaper source of amino acids and vitamins and stuff? Soybeans. So they're using soybeans, which, as I said, 1 cup of soybeans is as estrogenic as 100,000 cups of chickpeas. Like, just imagine that. Just imagine how many cups there is. Anyway, so they're using that, so hyper-estrogenic substances onto that lab-grown meat. So not only it's cancer cells, but now it's highly estrogenic, all right? That's not all. Not only that, but it's full of antibiotics, because obviously it's not in a cow or in a chicken or anything. There's no immunity system. There's no white blood cells.
White blood cells, yeah.
Exactly. So they're going to pump it with antibiotics. And I thought that was like, why isn't that a good thing? That you're eating antibiotics? I mean,
no.
That's a plus. No.
How's that a good thing, bro?
Because I thought that's like free medication. You get immunity. I don't know. No, honestly, I was thinking like I was thinking like, how could it be bad? But you actually develop an immunity to these
antibiotics, yeah.
And
like even
your bacteria and your stuff in your guts and your system is going to get used to the antibiotics, and you'll be way more vulnerable. So not only it might not even be that environmentally friendly, but then people are like, oh, well, at least, a cow isn't dying.
Mm-hmm.
They're using something in lab-grown meat, which is called, I'll find the acronym.
Drum roll.
FBS. Where's FBS?
What's that?
It's fetal bovine serum. So what is that? It's a serum made from the blood of a cow fetus.
Really?
And where they're getting the blood from the cow fetus? From the fetus, from the impregnated cow that's just been slaughtered in the slaughterhouses. So the companies, the new companies now actually creating these lab-grown meats are actually getting this FBS, so this fetal bovine serum from cows that have been slaughtered to get that serum, because they actually, it's crazy. They slaughter the mama cow, they take out the fetus, and take a needle and put it into the fetus's heart to take the blood out, because that's the purest, strongest. No, it's weird, but it's the purest, strongest blood you could get to make out a serum to actually inject that into your lab-grown meat to have a more nutritious piece of meat. So not only it's not environmentally friendly as expected, you're still killing cows in the process, and not only that, it's estrogenic, full of antibiotics, and it just, you can't, like, how can people actually think that it's going to be as good as the actual thing?
Yeah.
So like obviously people are going towards that now because it obviously is cutting costs. It costs nothing, and the scariest thing is thinking that what we think their strategy might be for these big conglomerates and people that are going to this now is that on the microscopic level and cellular level, there's no difference. Like, you can't make a difference between both. So what people are actually thinking is that these companies that are making this lab-grown meat are going to find a legal way to show the authorities that basically it's the same, and that the differentiation shouldn't be legal because it is sort of the same. So there might come a point where you can't even make a differentiation in your store of what is lab-grown or not. So there might be this final strategy is that you don't even know if it's lab-grown or not, and it's just going to take over the whole market.
I'm guessing it's kind of like the same thing as like organic versus non-organic.
Exactly. Yeah, no, because you just don't know now anymore, and it's just bio. Even the bio stuff you buy is not bio anymore. Like, you don't even know. Like, most of the stuff is just labeled. It's the same. We were talking about the oils. How like avocado oil most of the time isn't even avocado oil. So how you can absolutely expect for these lab-grown meat to not even be identifiable from a label because they're cellularly the same. I think that's a scary part because at some point we'll come at this time where we don't even know what we are eating.
Now that is honestly a scary future that I do not want to live in.
Do you actually realize how corruption and how, because we keep saying the government is it really the government? Because at the end it's more of the big companies and the people up there are actually influencing these people in power to actually put this in regulations. And because why did Leon Butts? Was it Leon Butts? No, Earl Butts. Earl Butts only did that for the money, right? Because he saw the potential to get re-elected, to have more power behind, and the people that voted for that dietary plan, so the pyramid, food pyramid, because they had incentives, because as I said, they were tied to the biggest food and agricultural corporations of the US and of the world. So it's all tied to money. Like, obviously, I'm an entrepreneur. Obviously, I venture to be financially free, but I'm also here to create value and obviously not to kill my species on the way, right? Like, I'm here to help people and to make the world a better place. You see what I'm saying, right? I'm not here to fucking because there's actually evil people out there that are creating lab-grown meats. They know what it is, and they're just saying that because they'll make money off it, because they know it's just, we're just going at a point where we can't even eat meat. It's going to be either lab-grown meat or vegan meat or crickets. Do you want your kids to live in a world like that, Fame?
Yeah.
Fuck, okay. See you next time.
No,
it's just like how how far? Because
You're
no, but-
getting very emotional.
No, but
I
like-
mean, honestly, it is.
But when it comes to
It
like
is.
your health and your food, how can you expect your government to let this slip, right? And like if that's the case, like because
Mhm.
all of you that think that this is not true, do your research. I mean, it's all it's all there. I mean, it's all been proven. Elbows. I mean, you can make all the links. The
Yeah,
chart
there's
is
so many
right.
videos.
The chart is there. I mean, have you seen the chart?
Obviously,
Have you
yeah.
seen the
yeah.
chart?
It's-
And it's funny how it just goes that and it straight goes like this. It's not like a gradual. Oh, it's going up. No, it's like a pa pa.
The evidence is there. It's bad. It's horrible.
I am pissed, bro. No, honestly, because, again, it just
Honestly,
comes
yeah,
down
makes
to
sense.
that's why we're here. We're trying to same for our episode on how your food and water is killing you.
Mhm.
What videos did what episodes did we make to sensitize people? It was how your food and water is killing you. This one, that's the only thing we were exposing. Then obviously there's all health benefits. It's very health driven, a podcast for the moment.
Yeah.
We do say it's like masculinity and entrepreneurship and stuff. Because the thing is, self-development and self-improvement does tie to health because that's what that's what you're
100%.
doing basically.
And health is like.
I mean,
you need to have good health to do any
to do
of this.
the
any of
rest.
the- yeah.
If you want to be a good masculine man,
Yeah.
you can't have
And-
shit mental health and bad.
And
diet
I
and-
think it's absolutely imperative that you know these basic knowledges.
I mean, yeah,
All these
absolutely.
kind of stuff. Like, yeah.
If you
the-
go on in life without knowing all this,
you can never be like like amazing in life. If you don't know that the pyramid scam.
yeah,
The pyramid. The food pyramid
Yeah.
is a scam. You just can't.
yeah, like because you can't. Again, it's like these people saying, yeah, but it's not because we've been eating it since dawn of time that we can't change it now. Like, but why would you change it if we've survived until then?
Yeah. That's the biggest
It's our
like
downfall.
answer, right? Our bodies were designed to have food that we ate hundreds of years ago, like meat, greens, and all this kind of stuff. Like this is what we used to have, and if you want to change here, and if you want to eat like wheat and stuff like that, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I've seen these videos of like vegans and vegetarians. I'm not hating you guys, by the way. You do what you want, whatever.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
by the
if
way.
you but they were like, yeah, but that's very extremist examples. But they're like, oh, but the man never ate meat. Prehistoric men. It's like, what is
Bro,
this?
what?
Huh? That's that's a canine. Oh, how would you know you're not educated enough to know what a canine is? Boom. Mic drop. Anyway, so honestly, it just these
But okay.
like they love to. That's a big thing now, like rewriting history and like just to. Yeah, no, I'm going to go into something else.
Yeah. Anyways,
We can get pretty deep
I'll
on the discussion.
Go back.
Yeah,
Like, why is the food pyramid
a scam.
Yeah.
We just answered.
Yeah, but why is wheat a scam? Like, why is that bad for your body?
Why? Oh, why
Yeah.
is actual wheat bad for your
Yeah.
body? Tell me.
Okay, okay. I thought you were gonna answer it.
No,
I thought
go
you-
ahead.
Do you know any answer for that?
Why wheat itself is
Yeah.
bad?
Oh, like all these carbohydrates, not wheat itself.
Just
but
carbohydrates itself
Yeah.
in high quantities. No. Tell me.
All right, so
Teach me for him.
this is gonna get a tiny bit bro science, a little complicated. It's not too difficult. I'm gonna make it simple, right? All right, all right. So in your body, you have leptin signals.
Okay. Whoa. Yeah.
No, that's
He's lost me. No.
leptin signals.
Oh no. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, there's leptin signals
Mhm.
and insulin.
So yeah. Okay.
You know insulin, okay. So now what is leptin signal? I'll start with leptin signal. For example, suppose you eat something, right? You eat any food. Let's say wheat, for example, okay? You eat something, it goes in your body and it stores as a fat, okay? This fat, I'm not sure where the signal comes from, but I'm not sure where the signal comes from, but yeah. There's a signal that your body produces called leptin when this fat is stored.
Mhm.
So this leptin, it goes into your brain and it signals your brain to produce more energy in your body.
Okay.
So leptin basically it causes or it produces energy in your body. Like it signals the brain to give you energy. So if you eat something, leptin is basically saying to your brain is like, oh, listen, I have energy, I got fat in my body, let me burn it. All right. Now, if you are someone with insulin resistance, right? No, let me go back, okay? When you eat something, like, let's just say wheat again, right? When you eat something, this goes and stores as fat as again. And this leptin does not go into the brain. There's something blocking this leptin signal going to the brain.
Okay.
And it goes around the body and it tells more fat to be stored and to be more relaxed, or basically it doesn't say to burn the fat.
So what's blocking that?
Yeah, what is blocking that signal? If you just, what is blocking the signal? It's actually insulin.
Okay.
So insulin is blocking signal. So
when insulin spikes, it blocks
yeah,
leptin.
yeah,
Okay.
basically leptin signal. So why did God made this way? Like, why is insulin? Because we are in our lives we are only supposed to store fat when there's like something like important, like for example pregnancy. Women are supposed to store fat in case something bad happens, it's not affected, or during puberty or something, right? When you're growing you need more fat, or a couple of other like stress hormone things. Those are the times when you actually need fat, so that's when you need your insulin level to be risen. But nowadays majority of people's insulin levels are risen. Why?
Because of
It's
diet.
because
Sugar.
Sugar is the culprit. Sugar, carbohydrates, heavy carbohydrates, they basically skyrockets your insulin level.
Fast sugars and slow sugars.
Yeah. So basically they increase your insulin high and it blocks your leptin signals, which means you don't burn body fat at all. You don't have that energy anymore.
And carbohydrates.
Yeah. Basic
That
carbohydrates.
does make sense. So now it's storing fat, and it's bad fat because it's
it's
internal fat, or is it external fat, or that makes no.
Well, I'm not sure, but
Because I heard that sugar does promote storage of fat around your organs and internal.
basically visceral fat.
Yeah, visceral fat. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the way the lie comes. Calorie is a calorie, because you can have 100 grams of. Let's just say you have 500 calories maintenance, or let's say 1,000 calories maintenance, and you eat all of that for sugar. Let's say 500 grams of sugar is 1,000 calories.
Okay, yeah.
Obviously, it's not true, but yeah, let's just say 500 grams of sugar is 1,000 calories. All these fat, you won't have that energy to expend all of your body, because you're basically increasing your insulin and you're blocking your leptin signals, and this will all just be very unhealthy, and you will all probably gain this as visceral fat.
Yeah, because people can't think that all calories are the same, or all protein is the same, or like you can't think that protein from meat source is the same as protein from a vegetable source is the same, or if it's used the same way in your body.
Yeah,
the same for calories.
The law of thermodynamics, it makes sense, right? Whatever comes in, the calorie is kind of a calorie in terms of that, but how it makes you feel, how your body are completely different. If you have protein, for example, a lot of protein, 200 grams of protein, and then 200 grams of fat, and then 100 grams of carbohydrate, let's just for example say that, and that equates to 1,000 calories, that you would have a much more well-built body, amazing stuff, than having just.
I think for mood, because like if you eat like 1,000 calories through like just imagine like a ribeye steak, or 1,000 calories through like pasta, or something.
Big difference.
Imagine. Do you know how you feel afterwards? I know. I mean, I started eating ribeye steak every day. Well, that was back in October, whole month of October. I felt great every day because I ate that. I was in my calorie maintenance, and I felt great. But then once I eat pasta in the middle of the day, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, sluggish.
Your brain's foggy and you feel shit. But yeah, so yeah, all that to say, because we're getting off track again. But all that to say that's why carbohydrates in too high quantities is bad. And
100%.
because I mean, like meat, like
I mean, I can't say carbohydrates is bad because some carbohydrates are very good for you, like some wild rice. Like
Yeah, but
those are
again,
good.
it depends on the quantities.
Yeah,
Because
in
I'm not saying
quantities,
I'm not saying cut it off. I'm just saying
like
that.
complex carbohydrates, they are amazing
Yeah.
for you, right? You definitely don't cut off carbohydrates, but then the simple carbohydrates which just converts into glucose, it'll fuck you up, honestly.
Because some of the most nutrient dense foods in the world are meat. Like if
Yeah.
you said, as I said, ribeye steak or even beef liver.
Mm.
Beef liver is
They contain a lot of fat.
stacked.
Yeah, they contain a lot of fat.
Yeah, no, in good fat, but like
All this.
look, I can't even
vitamins.
remember. Like, it's called the diet heart hypothesis. The whole about saturated fats and cholesterol clogs up your arteries and heart, heart attack.
The bullshit.
Yeah, heart diet.
Yeah, the craziest thing is how eggs were demonized, and that one is crazy. Even I believe it. Eggs are not good for you because of the high cholesterol
My
levels.
parents always told me that, like eggs, and especially my mom's side, she was always like, my dad really always ate everything. Like,
Yeah, doesn't give a
that's
fuck.
fine. But then we always, and
Giga
especially
chat.
recently, we've been stopping meat, not necessarily because it's bad, but more like the ecological side, and going towards like eating more vegetables and stuff.
I think the only logical reason right now, if you want to stop meat, is either if you're like obviously vegan or something like that. Meat and all these kind of things, they're injected with hormones and all these kind of things, which are very bad for you.
You gotta get a good source.
Good source, like so you can avoid for that kind of reason. But
About that, here's a story.
okay, what's the story?
It's a short one, but so as I said, my dad's always been very the same way we've got our hens and stuff. At some point, I can't remember when it was. I don't know. I was reading downstairs, and then he came downstairs very excited on the phone. Was he on the phone? I don't know. Anyway, and somebody just looked at me. He's like, "I'm gonna buy a cow." I was like, "You what?" He's like, "It's the best investment," and then because you'll have so much meat and meat is good for meat is good for you. It's like, okay, where's the cow gonna go? No, I love my dad for that. He always came with like these big ideas, and obviously we never bought the cow. I think he would.
But not a cow.
He's got plan. Honestly, I think he's going in the next years. But yeah, he was like, "Let's buy a cow." I was like, and I think for at least a week he was onto the idea. Like he was gonna do it. I actually thought at some point he was gonna do it, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Here's another story, right? Like, so my family, my mom, right? They when she was a child, she used to actually milk the cow. Like she used to live in the village and stuff like that. She used to milk the cow and actually drink every day, like proper
Like
milk,
raw milk.
raw milk. Yeah,
not pastured.
obviously like boiled milk. Yeah, but it's just that at that time, like just like 6 years ago. No, not 6 years ago. Like 30, 40 years ago, it was amazing. Life was amazing back then.
Yeah.
Everything was
Just
pure.
you had your cow, you milked your cow.
Yeah.
Look, I found the picture.
Found the picture.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what's there. So in the ribeye steak, I'll put the picture on screen. There's calcium, vitamin A, thiamine B1, riboflavin B2, niacin B3, pantothenic B5, vitamin B6, flocate B9, vitamin B12, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, omega-3s, choline, zinc, selenium, potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, iron, copper. Are you ready now? Look, that's ribeye. That's beef liver.
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna read all this, but there's like at least double the quantities of macronutrients.
God damn, bro. Beef liver.
The Liver King wasn't wrong on that. Do you know the Liver King or not?
Obviously.
Yeah. Scam too. Everyone's a scam. Fuck. Anyway, no, just meat.
He was a steroid user.
Exactly.
What a guy.
Just for those that don't know, the Liver King was a big lad, very, very, very
Way
fit.
big lad. And he used to eat raw meat.
Raw meat, which isn't that
crazy.
honestly his whole philosophy of meat. I love it, but the fact that he said that you can obtain his physique through just eating high quantities of raw meat and raw eggs and raw animal products. Obviously, he was on steroids, so he was a lawyer about that. But I think he's right. As I said, I think I mentioned it in another podcast. I think I'll go. It's not. I think I know that I will go on a full-on carnivore or keto diet. I want to say after uni, but then that's another myth that carnivore diet is expensive. It's not. I mean, even ribeye steak, which is the most expensive steak you could really find, but even that expensive is. I mean, it's not that expensive. I think it's like five or 6 pounds for 250 grams of a steak, which is, and you, I think that's all you need. I mean, like,
here's the funny part, right? People would say it's so expensive, right? And they would eat out every day, and that's like super expensive.
Yeah.
You eat like, I don't know, man, it's normal some salad for like £10 or something like that, and you can have like a really good meal if you cook it yourself.
Exactly.
You just buy it for £5.
No, for sure.
It's not expensive.
But I mean, at the moment, I can't really, because if I want to get my full-on calories through meat, it is harder than if I can have it through carbohydrates. And because obviously pasta, I mean, 100 grams of pasta is like almost 400 calories. So I just need to eat like 200 or 300 grams of pasta and I'm done.
And protein is more filling as well, so it's going to be harder to actually consume.
So it's I can't. But once I'm at the body weight I'm what I'm going for. Once I'm there, I'll clearly just go on a full meat, because I mean, I think my allowance, like, well, I'm budgeting myself a day is like maybe 8 or maybe 9 quid a day. I mean, 9 quid, like a chicken thigh is like 50p or £1, I think. But it's still, I think it's alright. I think if I was gonna go full on, I'd buy like in bulk from like a butcher. Like I'd buy like 10 kilos of chicken and just fill up my freezer. But not only chicken.
Imagine someone opened up their freezer, it's like
just a whole chicken, a whole cow falls out of my fridge.
Whole cow.
My dad would be proud of me.
I was gonna say that. I was literally gonna say.
No, I think I'd go towards more of red meat, just because of how many macronutrients you find in red meat, and and it just tastes better. I love red meat. What's your favorite meat?
Go with steak, man.
Yeah, just beef.
Just beef, but
not a bit of kangaroo. Kangaroo's good. Kangaroo's good. Honestly, I've had it twice.
No, it depends on like what dish it comes on. Like sometimes camel is amazing. Have you tried camel meat?
I've tried dog.
Listen,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Whoa.
I'm kidding.
Whoa.
I haven't tried camel. No.
Yeah, you should try camel. Camel is something very different. I feel like camel and
it's
kangaroo.
red. How deep is the red though? Is it like a very, very deep red, or is it more of a light color meat? I'd expect it to be darker.
I think I you know what? I've never seen camel meat raw. I've always ate, like, we never cooked at home. We always went to a restaurant and ate it. It's pretty red. Yeah, must be red.
Yo, what the bleu?
Oh man, yeah,
Huge.
it is huge, man, bro. Bro realizes how big camels are. Yeah, honestly, camels with the especially the fat part. Oh my, they are amazing, but they have to be cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So camel, I would say camels are pretty good. But in my opinion, the best meat that I had is something in Saudi is hanid. It's basically slow cooked
Camel.
slow cooked lamb.
Lamb is good.
It's slow cooked lamb.
Nah.
I promise you, man. When you come to Saudi and you try that, you will love, bro. It's better than steak. It's better than everything, in my opinion. I don't know why.
No,
it's so soft. Literally, you take
it just melts off and melts in your mouth. Yeah, I've maybe not as good as in Saudi, but I've had very, very good lamb. But my favorite meat is duck.
I've not really had good duck. I don't think so.
That's my, again, both, I was going to say my dad again, but both parents.
Duckies over here, bro. We got tons.
Honestly, guys, I think there's like 40, 50 ducks on campus. And I told one of my friends, one's going to die by the end of the year.
No, actually, you know, someone actually killed
them. Yeah. So someone, quick story. Someone at Lancaster University, I think it was last year. He had his fridge.
No, this year or something like that. I don't know.
No, it just started. This year just started. I think it was last year. Okay. But he had like, I think he had like multiple like decapitated.
What the?
And he didn't even eat them. He just preserved them in his fridge. So he just had multiple decapitated ducks in his fridge. I'm not. I feel like
That's actually
rumors that
that's
they
weird,
didn't eat
you know.
it. Anyway, duck is amazing. Just the fat. And by the way, duck fat for cooking is the best fat you can use
Really?
because the nutrients you can find in that fat compared to just like because there's different ways of cooking with fats. It's like either you use like grass-fed butter or again all the oils like olive oil, avocado oil, cocoa oil. There's also fats like lard, which is basically pig fat. You can use beef fat, but the best one is duck fat.
I forgot the name of it. It starts with a T.
Talon.
Oh yeah.
Tallow.
Tallow. Yeah.
Did I say talon? Yeah. Duck fat is considered the best fat, not only for health enthusiasts, but also culinary chefs. Why? One, for its flavor. My God.
Really?
You cook chicken in duck fat. guys, try it. It just anyway. So yeah, no, just the flavor of it. Another one is the high smoking point.
Yeah, high smoking point.
Is it high? Yeah.
Has
Sorry.
to be.
Yeah, high.
I mean, almost all animal fat is kind of high.
I think it's one of the highest. Then there's loads of like versatility, texture enhancements, all that. The best one obviously is health benefits. It's one of the best saturated fats, like content. So it has one of the best ratios of monosaturated fats in any animal fats, and it's got some of the highest levels of vitamin E and antioxidants. So beef fat is the best. I used to cook with pork fat. No offense, because it's called lard. I mean, I think it's because it was the cheapest, but I've never really liked it. Like it's this like white block, and then it just becomes transparent. It's not, and then it just smells of bacon all the time. It's not really nice. Beef tallow is good, but yeah, no duck. And it's not that expensive.
I need to.
We will go to M&S next time.
No, I need to actually have
you
like
can buy
proper
like
duck
jars.
now.
It's like a jar of like duck.
We should
fat.
have duck dinner or something, lunch or something. Like
Yeah, honestly,
That's
like
good.
I haven't found a very good piece of duck yet, even in M&S. And apparently M&S aren't the best meat provider like shop.
Really?
Especially
M&S,
their
I
salmon.
wouldn't expect that.
Especially apparently their salmon is pre-contaminated with salmonella and some weird shit. Anyway, yeah, we'll do. Anyway.
Yeah, we're getting to
Hey, duck fat. Anyway, fats. Eat meat. My
eat
guys,
meat, eat fats.
Eat fats. Just don't. Yeah, just again, we invite you to do your research. We're not here to impose our ideas and ideals, even though they're true.
Yeah.
Believe us.
A good video to actually research about, if you wanna talk more about, is called Fat Chance. There's this video on YouTube, Fat Chance, which I got some the insulin and leptin signals. I got that from there. So if you want an amazing video, I suggest you to watch it as well. It's an amazing thing. Yeah, Fat Chance. It's called the Fat Chance Fructose 2.0 by University of California Television, UCTV.
Yeah.
So
Then just also just find the studies. I mean, there's obviously it's always hard because again, as we said, there's loads of studies that are obviously you're gonna find loads of studies that are against meat. But again, what can you believe now? Like you're gonna find so many studies that's gonna say it's bad, but then it's good.
Yeah,
I understand why you guys are confused. Honestly, I was confused. I was like, "Well, is it good then or no?" There's so much controversy. So then it puts me in this position where if what I'm saying is wrong, but I know it's not because it makes sense. Like if you use your real human brain and just link everything and do your research. I mean, it's common sense and the studies are there.
Right. So my question is, how would you reframe the pyramid scheme? I think I don't know. I think I would keep,
in a word, scam. Good night.
I think I would keep greens first.
Also, how would you like?
I'm not sure, greens or carbohydrates. I'm not sure. No, definitely not carbohydrates.
I'd put meat. I thought because what's at the bottom? I think the bottom represents 40% of your plate. I think.
Yeah, I would say greens first.
Okay, wait. You do your pyramid. I'll do mine.
Okay, you do your pyramid. So no hard rule, but this would be my pyramid, right? My food scheme pyramid. It will be greens first, and then it will be fish, eggs, and all those kind of things.
And
second.
then dairy products.
All those dairy products. Then it would be red meat. I would probably it'll be the same amount, honestly. Red meat and these dairy products.
So
eggs. It's going to be the same thing.
Them,
Just combine them. It's going to be.
And
same
will you
thing
combine them also with oils and fats?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably. I would say maybe it has to be above red meat. I think you should eat more red meat than fat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right above that, red meat, all that kind of thing.
And
then oils, fats, and everything.
Saturates, okay, yeah.
Saturated fats,
Well,
and then carbohydrates probably.
And then do you still keep sugar, or you want to take it off the pyramid?
Take off the pyramid.
Sweet. Okay, cool.
Honestly.
Okay, mine would be very similar.
But if you need to have sugar, go for like I don't know.
Yeah, again,
fruits.
a very very top, and yeah. Okay,
because I don't think fruits are bad. We always ate fruits. No, our ancestors always. ate fruits.
I don't think fruits. Wait.
Fruits.
I don't think fruits are bad. You think fruits are bad?
No. I don't think fruits are bad.
good, yeah.
But the fruits nowadays that you get, they're like super high in sugar. I don't know, man. But yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should be demonizing fruits. That's kind of wrong because we always ate fruit, so it should be fine. So this is my pyramid, yeah.
Yeah, mine would be honest. Do I want to go extremists? My extremist version would be just red meat, well, just meat. That's it. But like what I think I would do would be meat, dairy products, oil, fats, and fish, and vegetables and fruits. That's it. No,
that is also
no carbohydrates, no sugar, and I think I wouldn't make it a triangle. I would make it like a rectangle. So like same amounts of everything, like just divided in three. Just like a third would be just full on red meat. Another third would be just full on fats, oils, and dairy products. So meat, just animal products and fish. So it is sort of 2/3 of meat and animal products, and then another third of just vegetables and fruits. So it's keto diet style, really. I think that's would be my minimum. Of course, stop. But then the bulk, I can't do it without the fucking pasta and shit. But then that's another that could be an excuse. But then again, it is more expensive than just pasta. Pasta's like 70p. You can't go wrong with that. Honestly, it's
Now the food pyramid scheme has become a budget pyramid.
budget. And again, guys, if you are again don't have the finances and you do have to rely on carbohydrates to survive, go for full wheat ones. Don't go for white bread. Go for full grain brown bread. Don't go
for complex carbohydrates. For example, like sweet potatoes, even normal potatoes, right?
I love sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes, and there's
Have you tried sweet potato fries?
I've tried to make them and it failed.
They get a bit sloppy. Yeah, no, I never made them myself. But I tried them before. It's amazing. It's even better. It's like a sweet touch to the
exactly. They're amazing. So you do like sweet?
It's not white sugar. Anyway, I think that's a wrap up. Just I think you've understood now what the food pyramid is and why it's a scam. Historically, why the US had the incentive to do that, and obviously the US being the US, it just went on to the world.
Yeah.
I hope we gave you the insights to obviously do your research and understand why carbohydrates in such amounts is bad, especially the carbohydrates today, and why you should favorize meat more into your diet, like get more meat into your diet, especially red meats, again, for all the stuff we said before.
So basically, in short, try to quit sugar, limit your carbohydrates, increase your protein and fat, and if you want, you can increase your vegetables. So that's basically
it.
If you just do that, you would be much more healthier.
Avoid all lab-grown stuff. Guys, come on, avoid the crickets. Honestly, bro, they're starting to push people to eat crickets, and they're using maggot flour now, like they maggot dried up weird like a flour maggot.
It's almost like they're using us bait to catch us.
It's not almost as they are. They are. We are
They
fucking hell. Anyway, I think there'll be an episode. Not shortly. By the way, we're having a break. We could put this one in. We could announce it in this one. As we're at uni, we've got a break term. We managed to do some episodes to cover a bit of the holidays, but not fully. So we might have some special episodes where we're doing some live, like not live, but like through Zoom. Yeah. We might, if we have time.
But we're going to be traveling and so I'm not sure.
We're going to have a lot going in for the period of end December, beginning of Jan.
Yeah.
But we'll be back mid-Jan, full of episodes. One will be onto rich, nutritional, dense and rich foods.
Oh yeah, we got to make
such as eggs and complements. Complements, yeah, no, supplements. Complements. Supplements like such as spirulina and all that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this podcast.
Yep. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, that's it. All right, so to wrap up, this was Fahim.
This was Jared. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time, guys.
See you next time. Take care.
Where's the meat? There is no meat. That's what they got on this chart. There's no meat. Whole grains, legumes and soy, vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, vegetable oils. There's no meat. They actually took meat out of the equation. They're like, F meat. Oh, vegetarian diet pyramid.